10 News begins with breaking news.
A pursuit and a fight ending with San Diego police shooting and killing a man in the middle of a neighborhood. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. All of this unfolded about 90 minutes ago near 54th Street and College Grove Drive in Oak Park. 10 News reporter Anthony Purra is live at the scene with the latest. Anthony.
Yeah, so just in the last 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. This entire area swarming with police right now. We are at 54th Street and College Grove Drive. Behind me, you can see this entire area has just been blocked off by police crime scene tape. Now, the shooting appears to have happened somewhere behind those trees, as that's where most of the police activity is taking place right now. Earlier, we saw that there was what appeared to be the suspect's body on the street there. There was a cover over that body, and that's where police seem to be concentrating their efforts. Now, this all happened around 3:45. Police say they were chasing a suspect in the area near Krenning and 54th here in Oak Park. The officer caught the suspect. There was a fight that ensued. Shots were fired. The suspect was hit and killed. The officers are all okay. But again, there's a big, heavy presence now that's followed that shooting. Now you can see that there's several police tape just crisscrossing this entire intersection of 54th here for about 2 blocks between College Grove Drive all the way over to Redwood Street. You can see all the police tape here. You can also see some markers there in the middle of the street. We've noticed that. We're not exactly sure what they're marking and what evidence that they are connected to the case that they might be marking here. But again, heavy police presence here. Police say the area is secured, but they are asking drivers to stay clear of this area while they conduct their investigation. That's the latest from the scene here in Oak Park. Anthony Purra, 10 News.
Thank you, Anthony. And we alerted our 10 News viewers to that shooting on our mobile app. There is a free version available in the App Store. Just search 10 News.
We have new information about the man accused of running over and killing a father of 2 young girls and then grabbing food at a taco shop afterwards. Christopher Nunez pleaded not guilty to a felony hit-and-run charge in court this afternoon. Our 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is joining us live from the courthouse. And Mimi, the victim's wife had some strong words after this hearing.
She did, Steve, and she wanted to share those strong words with the judge, but that was denied in court today. So she spoke with us after the hearing, and today the courtroom was packed not only with the victim's family and friends, but with the defendants as well.
My husband was a loving father, friend, husband.
Through tears, Katie Gordon described her husband, Jason Gordon. He was a father of 2 one-year-old little girls. Gordon was killed after he was hit by an SUV while attempting to cross Market Street around 2 Sunday morning. In court Friday, 28-year-old Christopher Nunez pleaded not guilty to 1 count of felony hit and run. The defense attorney described him as a student at City College, a father and fiance, and someone trusted by the community.
He, on his spare time, coaches soccer, youth soccer, started his own youth team, and that he did with the trust of the community and trust of parents that he had.
But the prosecutor described a different man. She says Nunez ran over Gordon going 55 miles per hour, dragged him through an intersection, then left the scene in his SUV.
There's no way this individual did not know that he struck a human being.
Nunez then allegedly went to a taco shop on Broadway and 25th.
He can be seen on surveillance casually ordering food, getting his order, going back to his vehicle. When he attempted to leave the parking lot, he hit another vehicle 3 separate times.
Today, Gordon's wife wanted to address the judge, but it wasn't allowed. Here's what she hoped to share with him.
I felt that if my husband couldn't come home to his wife and 2 daughters, that this person didn't deserve that either.
And Nunez faces a maximum of 4 years in prison if he is in fact convicted of that 1 charge. But the investigation is still ongoing, so more charges could be brought against him. He is due back in court for his preliminary hearing in March. We're live downtown. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Mimi, thank you. The man famously acquitted in the 1998 stabbing of Stephanie Crow is back behind bars. Richard Tuite was back in court today. He's charged with unlawfully visiting a prison. As a convicted felon, he needs special permission to do that. Tuite was convicted in 2004 of stabbing 12-year-old Stephanie Crow to death in her Escondido home. He was living in the neighborhood, homeless at the time. An appeals court ruled that he didn't get a fair trial, and he was acquitted in 2013. Today, his bail was set at $200,000. He will be back in court next month.
Now to a breaking news update. 10 Fallbrook High School students arrested after a massive brawl erupted on campus earlier today. 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle is joining us from the campus. And Cassie, the Sheriff's Department is still trying to figure out what led up to this violent fight.
Exactly right, Lindsay. We just had a couple sheriff's deputies that are walking into school right now. Now, a student and a parent that I spoke with said that they believe it started because of a gang reference. One student that we spoke with described how it unfolded, and she was in the back of her parents' car leaving campus, and she didn't want to be identified. Listen to what she had to say.
It was nutrition, so we were going to our pep rally, and then after the pep rally, we were supposed to head to our classes. And then just everyone started running and watching the fight.
The Sheriff's Department says more than 20 students were involved, and it happened around 10:30 this morning. 10 students were arrested, booked into juvie on charges ranging from probation violation to battery or battery of a school official. There were no weapons, according to the Sheriff's Department. The school was on lockdown for about 2 hours, and the Sheriff's Department said there were minor injuries, and video is being posted on social media. We actually just got some of that video just a few minutes ago. We'll show you what that looks like tonight on 10 News at 7. It's really disturbing stuff, you guys. And of course, we've also reached out to the district for their input on this incident. Reporting live here in Fallbrook, Cassie Carlisle, 10 News.
Cassie, thank you. Now to a health alert. China is expanding its lockdown against the deadly new coronavirus. Here's the latest. The number of confirmed cases around the world has climbed to more than 1,200 with at least 41 deaths, all in China. The U.S. is now reporting its second case involving a Chicago woman, and France is now confirming 3 cases of their own. ABC's Marcia Gonzalez has more on the precautions being taken to keep the virus from spreading.
A second case of the coronavirus now confirmed in the U.S. A woman in her 60s who returned home to Chicago from the outbreak's epicenter in Wuhan, China, now in isolation, listed in stable condition.
This is a single travel-associated case, not a local emergency.
The first patient diagnosed hospitalized in Seattle. Doctors there detailing the caution they're using in treating this illness that's now spread to at least a dozen countries and territories, infecting more than 880 people and killing at least 26.
We weren't sure about the degree of contagiousness. We certainly did not want it to spread, so we used the highest level of protection that we have available to treat this patient, as one would Ebola.
Doctors are also monitoring suspected cases in several other U.S. cities.
This situation is evolving quickly, and I do expect more cases in the United States.
The State Department issuing a travel advisory for China, urging Americans not to visit certain areas due to the risk of the coronavirus. While in China, 33 million people are now under lockdown in and around Wuhan, where the outbreak began. Shanghai Disneyland shut down, and cultural sites including the Forbidden City and parts of the Great Wall closing as a precaution. And back here in the U.S., doctors are now monitoring everyone who had close contact with the 2 patients confirmed to have the coronavirus. Health officials stress there is little risk to the public. Marcia Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
President Trump attended the March for Life in Washington, D.C. today. He is the first sitting president to speak at the annual anti-abortion event. This comes as the president's administration is threatening to pull federal funding from California. The Trump administration disagrees with California's requirement that health insurance plans cover abortion. The president also attacked Democrats as embracing, quote, radical and extreme positions.
They are coming after me because I am fighting for you, and we are fighting for those who have no voice, and we will win because we know how to win.
In 1999, in an interview with Tim Russert, then Citizen Trump described himself as a, quote, very pro-choice in every respect. Today, he told thousands that unborn children never had a stronger defender in the White House.
Now to a developing story. House Democrats wrapping up their opening statements in the impeachment trial of President Trump. As ABC's Serena Marshall explains, this comes amid a new recording that appears to contradict previous statements by the president.
As the impeachment trial of President Trump continued for a fourth day, a new recording reportedly made in April 2018 and reviewed by ABC News appears to capture President Donald Trump telling associates he wanted the then U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, fired. Speaking to Lev Parnas, the now indicted associate of the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, he has pleaded not guilty. Get rid of her, is what the voice that appears to be President Trump is heard saying. Get her out tomorrow. I don't care. Get her out tomorrow. Take her out. Okay? Do it. It was in response to Parnas saying she's basically walking around telling everybody, wait, he's gonna get impeached. Just wait. It wasn't until a year later, April 2019, that Yovanovitch was recalled from her position. Before heading into the Senate chamber, the lead House manager reacted.
If the president, at the urging of Giuliani or Parnas or Fruman, if this is additional evidence of his involvement in that effort to smear her, it would certainly corroborate much of what we've heard.
The president and his team arguing,
I don't think the president has made any secret of the fact that he had concerns about our ambassador to Ukraine and wanted her replaced.
Back in the Senate chamber, Democrats continue to make their case that President Trump obstructed Congress.
President Trump tried to cheat. He got caught, and then he worked hard to cover it up.
It is still unclear, however, how the Democrats' arguments are landing with those more moderate Republicans they're targeting. Many refusing to commit to Democrats' push for allowing new evidence and witnesses until both sides conclude opening statements.
I think the question is, do we need more evidence? Do we need to hear witnesses? Do we need more documents?
Another moderate Republican, Senator Mitt Romney, saying the same thing. The arguments for the president's defense team, followed by the 16 hours of senators' questioning, isn't expected to wrap until the middle to end of next week. Even as a brand new ABC News Washington Post poll finds 2/3 of Americans believe new witnesses should be part of the Senate impeachment trial. On Capitol Hill, Serena Marshall, ABC News.
Democrats have chosen 2 women to deliver the response to the president's State of the Union next month. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer will give the response in English, and Texas Representative Veronica Escobar will give it in Spanish. The response gives the opposition party a chance to present criticisms to the president's address. It's also a chance to shine a light on rising stars in the party. Both Whitmer and Escobar were elected in the so-called blue wave victories in the 2018 midterm elections.
At least 8 people are dead and hundreds more are injured after a magnitude 6.8 earthquake rocked eastern Turkey. And the moment it struck was caught on Turkish television too. That quake was followed by 2 aftershocks, both over a magnitude 5.0. Crews are now going through multiple collapsed buildings looking for survivors. The country estimates over 300 have been injured. Turkey's defense minister says troops are on standby to help where needed.